What if the secret to a long, vibrant life wasn't locked in a pill or a clinic, but sitting quietly in your kitchen fruit bowl? What if every bite of fruit you take could be a quiet act of self love, a moment of mindfulness, and a pathway to not just living longer, but living well? Welcome to Buddhist Mindfulness, where we blend ancient wisdom with modern science to support you in your golden years. In today's deeply reflective and practical video, we're exploring 5 powerful fruits that not only nourish your body, but also echo timeless Buddhist values: simplicity, presence, and respect for life. These fruits are backed by modern science for their remarkable health benefits, but even more, they remind us to return to the basics, to to the natural gifts that Earth offers. Stay with us until the end because the last fruit on this list doesn't just reduce inflammation and stabilize blood sugar, it may just change your outlook on aging itself. Let's begin. Number 1, blueberries, the mindful berry that protects the mind. In Buddhist teachings, the mind is often described as both a wild horse and a sacred temple. It is where suffering arises and where peace is found. Much of Buddhist mindfulness practice is centered on cultivating clarity, awareness, and compassion within the mind. But what we often overlook is how what we physically feed our minds through the foods we eat can deeply impact our emotional, mental, and even spiritual well being. One small but powerful example of this is the humble blueberry. Often nicknamed brain berries, blueberries are a nutritional powerhouse. They are rich in anthocyanins, a class of antioxidants that protect the brain from inflammation and oxidative stress, two of the primary drivers of cognitive decline. But these aren't just scientific buzzwords. These biological processes are directly tied to how clearly we think, how well we remember, and even how emotionally balanced we feel throughout the day. Let me share the story of Robert, a 78-year-old retired literature teacher and lifelong practitioner of mindfulness. In his younger years, he could memorize poetry effortlessly and engage in lively philosophical discussions. But in recent years, he noticed his mind becoming foggy. He struggled to remember simple tasks, and conversations left him feeling overwhelmed. His daughter, a nutritionist and meditation teacher, gently suggested a more mindful approach to eating, one that honored both body and spirit. The first change she recommended: a daily serving of blueberries. Skeptical at first, Robert agreed. He began adding a handful of fresh blueberries to his morning oatmeal. Some days he blended them into a smoothie, savoring the vibrant color and gentle sweetness. Other days he simply ate them slowly, one by one, with full awareness of each bite, using the moment as a form of meditative practice. Within 2 months, he began noticing small but meaningful changes. His mental sharpness improved. He found himself reaching for books again, joining group discussions at the senior center, and even resuming his evening meditation practice with greater focus. When asked about the change, Robert said something profound. "I didn't just feel smarter. I felt lighter, less cloudy, as if my thoughts were flowing again instead of getting stuck." Science echoes his experience. Numerous studies have shown that regular consumption of blueberries can improve memory, support better communication between neurons, and reduce the risk of age-related cognitive diseases, such as Alzheimer's. But from a spiritual perspective, blueberries symbolize more than just good nutrition. They represent intentional care for the mind, a central tenet of Buddhist practice. Just as we sit in silence to calm mental chatter, we can also nourish the brain with foods that foster clarity and balance. So, how can you integrate this mindful berry into your life? Start simple. Add them to oatmeal, sprinkle them over a salad, blend them with almond milk, or just eat a handful in silence. With each bite, practice gratitude. Notice the color, texture, and taste. Let eating be not just a daily habit, but a form of mindfulness, a way to protect and honor the sacred space of your mind. Number 2, avocados, the fruit of compassionate circulation. In Buddhist teachings, the heart is more than a physical organ. It is the wellspring of compassion, the source of metta, loving kindness, and the center of emotional wisdom. In Western culture, we often say, "follow your heart," urging people to listen to their emotions or desires. But in the Dharma, the heart is something to be cultivated, a space to be made open, spacious, and free flowing. A spacious heart welcomes joy, holds sorrow, and offers love without attachment. In this light, the humble avocado can be seen as more than just a trendy fruit. It becomes a symbol and a support for compassionate circulation. Its creamy richness nourishes the heart not only metaphorically, but physically. Loaded with heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, avocados help reduce levels of LDL, bad cholesterol, and increase HDL, good cholesterol. They're also rich in potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure and maintain the body's fluid balance, and fiber, which supports overall cardiovascular health. Let's consider the story of Frank, a 75-year-old former postman. For decades, Frank walked miles every day, delivering mail, chatting with neighbors, and breathing in fresh air. Retirement, however, brought a slowdown, and with it, high blood pressure. He felt sluggish, tired, and disconnected from the vibrant energy he once enjoyed. After a conversation with his doctor and a bit of research, Frank began including avocados in his daily routine. His favorite version? Smashed avocado on whole grain toast, drizzled with olive oil and sprinkled with sea salt and crushed red pepper. After a few months, his doctor noted an improvement in his blood pressure. But more importantly, Frank felt better. His movements became easier, he slept more deeply, and he regained a sense of vitality. From a Buddhist perspective, the flow of blood through the body can be likened to the flow of compassion through our lives. When the heart is constricted by cholesterol, by tension, by unprocessed grief, circulation suffers. Likewise, when our emotional heart is blocked by resentment, fear, or anger, our compassion cannot move freely. Both kinds of blockages lead to suffering. Healthy circulation then becomes a metaphor for a life lived with emotional openness, equanimity, and loving kindness. Avocados then are not just a food, but a mindfulness practice in disguise. When we choose to nourish ourselves with foods that support heart health, we are practicing compassion toward our own body. When we eat with awareness, savoring the texture and flavor, we turn a simple meal into a ritual of presence. Whether you blend it into a smoothie, dice it into a salad, spread it over warm toast, or enjoy it as guacamole with a friend, let the avocado remind you of your own spacious heart. Let it be a small act of metta, a quiet, delicious gesture of love. Number 3, pomegranates, the jewel of longevity and vitality. There's a saying in the sutras, do not underestimate the power of small actions. This ancient wisdom resonates deeply with the humble pomegranate, a fruit that, though small in each seed, contains a wealth of healing and nourishment. The pomegranate, with its crown-like top and ruby-red seeds, has long been revered as a symbol of life, fertility, and renewal in many cultures. In the context of health and longevity, it stands as a testament to how nature's tiniest offerings can yield the greatest benefits. Each aril, or seed pod, is bursting with polyphenols, natural antioxidants that fight cellular aging, reduce inflammation, and improve blood flow. These compounds have been studied for their role in protecting the heart, enhancing memory, and even preventing the onset of certain chronic diseases. But beyond its biochemical wonders, the pomegranate holds a deeper lesson. To enjoy it, one must slow down. Peeling a pomegranate isn't something done in haste. It requires gentle fingers, a bit of patience, and a willingness to be present. In this way, the act of preparing and eating a pomegranate becomes a form of mindfulness, a meditation in motion. As you open it, segment by segment, seed by seed, it invites you to savor each moment and every bite. It's a reminder that wellness isn't only found in what we eat, but in how we engage with it. Dorothy, an 80-year-old gardener and retired school teacher, shares her personal story of rediscovery through pomegranate. For years, she struggled with joint stiffness and fatigue. She began each day with a small glass of freshly pressed pomegranate juice, something her grandmother once did in her youth. Over time, Dorothy noticed a subtle but profound shift. Her knees stopped aching, her hands regained strength, and her daily walks in the garden turned from chores into moments of joy. Today, she credits her vibrant energy and mental clarity to the ritual of this crimson fruit. Modern science echoes Dorothy's experience. Studies show that pomegranate juice helps relax blood vessels, lowering blood pressure naturally. Its antioxidants may delay the progression of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, and its anti-inflammatory properties offer relief to those with arthritis or cardiovascular concerns. Even more remarkably, emerging research suggests that pomegranate can enhance the function of mitochondria, the energy factories of our cells, essential for vitality as we age. Eating pomegranate then becomes more than a health habit. It becomes a spiritual practice. It asks us to be present, to notice, to engage. As you scoop out each glistening seed, chew it slowly, and feel its juice awaken your senses. You're not just nourishing your cells, you're feeding your soul. In a world driven by speed, the pomegranate invites us to pause. In its simple, radiant beauty, we find a jewel of longevity and vitality, one small action at a time. Number 4, papayas, the gentle healer of the gut and spirit. The Buddha often spoke of the middle way, a path of balance, moderation, and wisdom. This teaching, though ancient, finds expression even in the most humble things. Take the papaya, for example. Its soft texture and soothing sweetness seem to embody this sense of balance, offering not just nourishment to the body, but comfort to the spirit. Papayas are more than just a tropical delight. They are rich in papain, a powerful enzyme that aids in the breakdown of proteins. This makes papayas especially valuable for seniors, whose digestive systems may not function as efficiently as they once did. As we age, we may find our bodies struggling with bloating, indigestion, or poor nutrient absorption. In this way, papaya acts as a gentle healer, easing the burden on the gut and allowing the body to process food more efficiently. Consider Margaret, age 76, who had silently endured years of digestive discomfort. Every meal became a source of anxiety, followed by bloating, fatigue, and a heaviness that seemed to weigh her down both physically and emotionally. One day, a friend recommended she try eating a small bowl of ripe papaya after lunch. Skeptical but curious, Margaret gave it a try. Within a few weeks, she began to notice changes. The bloating subsided, her energy lifted. Mealtimes, once dreaded, became joyful again. She felt lighter, not just in her belly, but in her spirit. Beyond its digestive benefits, papaya is also rich in vitamin C, a crucial antioxidant that supports the immune system and helps reduce inflammation. For older adults who may face chronic conditions or weakened immunity, this boost is especially meaningful. It's not just about treating illness, it's about building resilience day by day with each mindful bite. But perhaps what makes papaya truly special is the way it invites us into presence. Its tender flesh encourages slow, mindful eating. Its vibrant color and sweet aroma engage the senses, reminding us to savor, not rush. In a world that often feels hurried and harsh, the act of eating a slice of papaya becomes a quiet ritual of self-care. It whispers, soften. It reminds us to be gentle with our bodies, with our breath, with the way we move through each day. From a Buddhist perspective, this gentleness aligns closely with the practice of metta, loving kindness. Just as we offer compassion and understanding to others, so too must we extend that same care inward. When we eat in awareness, when we nourish our bodies with foods that heal rather than harm, we are practicing mindfulness in action. So let the papaya be more than just a fruit on your plate. Let it be a teacher, a reminder that healing doesn't always come through force, but often through softness, simplicity, and presence. Like the middle way, papaya encourages balance between taste and nutrition, between body and spirit, between doing and simply being. Number 5, apples, the everyday fruit with extraordinary power. Apples are often overlooked in a world filled with trendy superfoods and exotic fruits. But simplicity, as Buddhist teachings remind us, can be profoundly powerful. An apple may seem unremarkable on the surface, yet hidden within its crisp flesh is a deep reservoir of health benefits and quiet wisdom. The teachings of mindfulness tell us to return to the present moment through the ordinary, the breath, a sip of tea, or a simple apple, and in doing so, we discover the extraordinary. Nutritionally, apples are a quiet powerhouse. They're high in dietary fiber, particularly soluble fiber like pectin, which slows digestion and supports steady blood sugar levels. This makes apples especially valuable for older adults seeking to manage diabetes or maintain healthy energy throughout the day. Their high content of polyphenols, natural plant compounds with antioxidant effects, helps reduce inflammation and lower the risk of chronic diseases like heart disease, stroke, and even certain cancers. Apples also promote gut health by feeding beneficial gut bacteria, which play a vital role in immunity and mood regulation. For Henry, now 82, this everyday fruit became part of a simple ritual that transformed his mornings. I used to wake up with aching knees and low energy, he recalls. Then I started eating an apple every morning after my walk. Over time, I noticed not just less joint pain, but a calmer mind. It felt like a small anchor, a way to start my day grounded and grateful. His story reflects a truth that modern science and ancient wisdom both agree on. Sometimes the best medicine is consistent, natural, and deeply human. Apples also offer more than nutrients. They provide connection. They connect us to seasons, to childhood memories of orchards and lunchboxes, to the land that grows them. Holding one in your hand can be a moment of mindfulness. The scent, the texture, the crunch, they awaken the senses and bring us back to the here and now. There are countless ways to enjoy them. Slice one up with a spoonful of peanut butter for a satisfying snack. Dice it into a spinach salad with walnuts and feta. Stew them gently with cinnamon for a warm evening dessert. Or do nothing more than cradle it in your palm, take a deep breath, and bite into it slowly. That, too, is a practice of gratitude and presence. In a world of complexity, the apple reminds us health doesn't have to be complicated. Healing can be found in the humble. As the Buddha said, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Perhaps for today, that path begins with a single beautiful apple. Longevity isn't only about how long we live, it's about how well we live. In the Buddhist tradition, health is not just physical, it's also emotional and spiritual. A calm mind, a warm heart, a nourished body. These three together allow us to age with grace, dignity, and joy. These five fruits, blueberries, avocados, pomegranates, papayas, and apples, are not miracles in themselves, but when used consistently and with mindfulness, they become tools for self care, extensions of compassion toward this body that carries us. They help us not just to live longer, but to live more presently. So, dear listener, I invite you to begin today. Swap out one processed snack for a bowl of blueberries. Add avocado to your breakfast. Sip pomegranate juice with reverence. Invite papaya into your lunch. And take an apple with you on your afternoon walk. These are not small acts, they are seeds. And over time, they grow into a healthier, happier, more mindful life. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with someone you love. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our weekly reflections on health, mindfulness, and aging with wisdom. From all of us at Buddhist Mindfulness, may you be well, may you be peaceful, and may you continue to bloom in every season of life. Thank you for watching.